write an undergraduate thesis in college dealing with Baptist history, and I chose to do Baptist missionaries in India and their influence on the British government regarding sati, which is widow burning, and that just really, it really sparked an interest in me with social issues with women, and particularly in India. And I've always had a love for history from the time I was a child, and so the thought of being able to use that love, but also possibly for a social cause, like widow burning, which isn't really an issue today, but right now I'm doing child marriage, which is still a heated topic in India, and so being able to use that and possibly influence future policies is a huge deal to me, and it's something I'm passionate about because I feel like history is very important, and we can learn so much from it, and we can change from it, and so yeah, that's just been fantastic, and it's been encouraging to find something that you're passionate about and be able to do it and succeed at it, I guess, to an extent, even though I'm not fully there yet. Well, after I studied at Oxford through a program at Carson-Newman, and after that I decided I really wanted to do a graduate degree in the UK, so I started looking at programs. And I ended up applying to 5 universities in the UK, but Edinburgh was kind of at the top of my list, and I contacted a professor there who's actually now my supervisor, and he had been extremely helpful. And that it just kind of, I had this really good feeling like this was the place I needed to be, and so I applied, and I ended up getting into a Master's by Research program, which is exactly what I wanted. And I went to Edinburgh in March and visited, and it was fabulous, and I fell in love with the city, and they accepted me, which is even better. So that's kind of how I got there, just through that experience of already being in the UK before and really liking their education system. I can't even express the gratitude that I have to the faculty at Webb in enough words, because I was only there for 2 years, so the fact that they accepted me as if they'd known me just as long as most of the people in my class, because there were several that had been there since middle school, so they were very familiar with them, and accepted me and brought me in and worked with me. I mean, like I said, I was before I was kind of behind in some areas when I got to Webb, and so the fact that they pushed me and encouraged me and worked with me and made me believe that I was there for a reason, and I was going to do great things, like that has inspired me throughout college and now in grad school, and what they taught me not only in class but in our personal conversations about caring about my life and what I was doing, and even now, like the ones I keep in touch with, they still want to know how I'm doing, they still encourage me, they still push me to go further and to fulfill my dreams, and that, for that I will be forever grateful. It was a huge transition. I'd been in public school my entire life until I was a junior, and that's when I came to Webb. And public school was great, but Webb was even better because I didn't really know how to study before I came to Webb, and I'd pretty much been around the same people my entire life, whereas when I went to Webb I met a variety of people from different states, from different countries. In my class, you know, there were several people that lived in other states, and then we had several people from Korea. And so it was just really nice to get to know those people and to not be with the same people I'd been with my entire life. And that helped me, I guess, get the diversity that I wasn't getting in a small town education. I fit right in. I felt like it was kind of my extra Webb. And but I found as I was there that the other, you know, freshmen my first year, and then even my second year, my friends, they were struggling. They were having a really hard time figuring out when to study and how to study, and I kind of already knew how to do that, and so I felt like the first few years I kind of breezed through. You know, obviously there were classes that probably could have gotten, you know, an A and I got a B, but you know, I learned how to study at Webb, and that has been so beneficial to me in my college career and even in grad school, because you know, I have friends that still to this day struggle because they just didn't get that instilled in them in high school, whereas I did. On my first day of undergrad, I was sitting in class and the professor walked in, and I almost stood up because I was so used to doing that when a teacher or a faculty member walked into a class at Webb. And so I started to stand, and then I was like, oh wait, I'm not at Webb anymore, and it was weird not to stand and not to show that respect. And then also the first time I took a test, I started to write the pledge that you sign at the end of every Webb test or homework assignment, and then I realized I didn't have to, and it was weird not doing it because I felt like I needed to do that to show that I'd been honest and true and hadn't cheated or anything. My time at Webb prepared me for international study basically through the programs that like we had French students come over for 2 weeks, and so we've been able to meet those students, get to know them a little bit, and see a little bit of their culture come out, and that helped a ton, as well as just learning how to study on my own. My program right now at Edinburgh is very independent, so being able to know when to study and how to study and do it on my own is crucial. And if I hadn't been at Webb, I wouldn't have that experience and be able to do that. And also just the confidence to go and talk to my professors and my supervisors and ask them for help. The relationship that I've built with my teachers at Webb has instilled in me the ability to do that and to feel comfortable talking to my supervisors and things in order to get what I need to get done. As well as just that possibility of being abroad. That hadn't really crossed my mind much until I came to Webb, and then it really just kind of gave me this urge to just be abroad and to do something, which led to studying abroad, and then now living abroad for at least a full year and studying. So.